Hello everyone, welcome to Endure the King, everyone's favorite video series. I love doing it. I hope you guys will enjoy this video too. So let's get started. First question is, why do games seem tougher, take longer to beat when you're a kid versus when you're an adult? That is, I kind of disagree with that. I don't know. When I was a kid, I was able to beat a few games, but I needed help all the time because I kind of sucked at them for a while. And when you're a kid, you're just kind of learning stuff, and you really, it might take longer for you to beat a game when you're a kid because, you're kind of testing things out, but you're able to focus on a game. I mean, sure, some kids might have a little bit of um, ADD or whatever, but usually, you can kind of focus on beating a game from start to finish. It's person to person, so there's that. While when I'm an adult, I kind of find myself just upping the difficulty as well. And the other thing is that a lot of games are also getting simplified now when you're an adult, so that might be why games are harder back then compared to now, where games have a baby mode almost. So there's that. Let's start this. Oh, wrong window.
5 questions from Nick. Nick went all out this month. Nick usually doesn't ask a ton of questions. He asked 5 questions this month. It's the holidays. Let's do it. Let's be nice to Nick. Let's answer his questions.
All right. It's gonna be nice to Nick. Nick goes out of his way to help Phil. He gave Phil the idea to do the Twitch sub Patreon thing.
Not old Saint Nick, by the way. This is Nick, my longtime viewer. All right. Number 1. Why do you think that people take longer to beat games in their childhood than when they're adults? I remember that certain games from when I was a kid taking up the majority of my childhood, but when I play them now, I can beat them in 1 to 3 sessions. Do you think that it's because we lack the skills to clear the games, or because we played less frequently, or because we had a lower attention span? It's all of the above. It's actually all of the above. When we were kids, number 1.
I kind of hate this, that he keeps saying this. He keeps thinking that kids have short attention spans. What kind of kids has DSP been around? I mean, I was a kid, and yeah, I kind of had I would move on things quickly, but if I was, enjoying something, I would focus on it. I don't know. But okay.
You don't have as good hand-eye coordination as you develop.
How do you not have enough time? When you're a kid, you have, you don't have a job. The only thing that took your time was dinner and homework. But, when you're a kid, you didn't really do homework that much. I mean, you just kind of did whatever. You're a kid.
Time, right? You haven't played as many video games as you do later, so you don't have that kind of experience under your belt to know what you're doing to tackle games.
I mean, if anything, you get less time when you're an adult to play games. Where's this extra time that Nick is talking about?
Yeah, when you're a kid, you have free time, but do you have as much free time to dedicate to sit down and actually focus on a game? Because I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I would play games for an hour or two, then I get bored and I want to do something else. It wasn't like today where I could sit down all day and play games nonstop. Back then, it was like, I want to go do something else. I don't want to do the same thing all day long.
To a degree, I do kind of agree with that, because when I played video games, I never quite understood how someone could play games for 5 hours straight or whatever. I would get cabin fever for doing that. But I could see it people playing a game for an hour or two. But I mostly see it with fighting games or multiplayer games. I can't quite see that with single player games because, for example, I'm playing Wolfenstein 2 and The Evil Within 2 right now for me. I'm playing those 2 games and I'm enjoying those games, but I can't see myself sitting there for 5 hours playing it because, I kind of like taking a break from some games, move on to other stuff, or do other things. I can't sit there for a long time because I just kind of I get very stressed when I play those games, in the sense that I get because those games are challenging for me. So it's a lot of concentration I have to put into it, but it's not work concentration. It's not DSP level concentration, but it's I'm having a good time. That's pretty much it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm sure someone's gonna be confused with
So for
that.
me, a lot of games that I was a kid, I would play them. Remember back then, a lot of games didn't even have saving, at least for me, growing up in the 80s and 90s, didn't have save points. So I'm playing an NES game. I play it for an hour. All right, well, I'm bored. I want to do something else. And the next time I play, I got to start from the beginning again. It's not like today where you're doing some long-ass RPG where you just start right where you left off, right? So it's a lot of different things. I would say, it's true because there's games that I've gone back now as an adult and I've now beaten them. When as a kid, they were like the bane of my existence and I couldn't beat them, right? But, I mean, let's face it, as you get older, you get wiser, you get better, right? That's the thing. That's what happens with experience and wisdom. You can become better at this stuff. So I think it's a pretty matter-of-fact kind of common sense answer there. Second question. Why do you return games after you finish them instead of keeping them in a collection and replaying them in the future? Even games with replay value get this treatment.
Okay, hold on. Let's why are you trading games instead of keeping them? Well, to me, in my honest opinion, what I do, I usually try not to trade as many games as I could because I kind of want to keep them. Because you buy them, and I kind of like the case. I kind of like having the game there, so I can always go back to it if I ever want to. I honestly cannot, like, there were times where I traded in games and I instantly regretted it the next day. Like, I traded in Lollipop Chainsaw, and I kind of wish I didn't. I could go buy the game right now, but I have to buy the game again. So I'm not really, I don't really love the idea that, oh my god, sorry, but I don't like the idea of trading the games at all. The only time I ever trade in a game is if I absolutely hate it, or if it's like I know I'll never play the game again. Like I've been debating getting rid of Final Fantasy 15, for example. I haven't gotten rid of it yet because when I look at it, it's like, well, I might decide to play it at some like off date, and I don't want to get rid of it, and then have that craving to play it, and then it not be there, But when it's a game that's like like Watch Dogs 1. That game I could not get rid of fast enough. I hated that game. That game was garbage. So, and I still have yet to miss it. Watch Dogs 2, I kind of enjoy that game. That game I might not really get rid of either. So there's that too. I kind of enjoy that game. But yeah, Watch Dogs 1, I got rid of it and I haven't missed it yet. But I got rid of Final Fantasy 15. I just don't know because I kind of enjoy the gameplay of 15. It's just the story is kind of. The story makes me not want to play it. It kind of gives me it demotivates me, but at the same time, I might want to play it just for the gameplay. I don't know. See, when I have a game that I don't know if I want to get rid of, I don't get rid of it because the fact that I'm like if I'm unsure, the fact that I'm unsure is enough for me to keep it.
Is the replay value in games these days not enough? What do game developers need to do to improve this? Well, the truth of the matter is a few things here, folks. The truth of the matter is. That at one point, I was a collector, and if there was a game that I really liked, I would hold on to it forever. Then, when I started doing this thing as a YouTube hobby, meaning between the years of 2008 through late 2010, excuse me, I was just doing this as a hobby. I wasn't making any money making YouTube videos, all right? So any of the games that I bought to play in YouTube videos was money out of my pocket, and I wasn't making that back. So for me, when I started buying these games, I needed to trade them in a lot of cases in order to make some extra money to afford those games moving forward. All right.
He says this, but he still trades in games. Then he can make the amount of money back in a game, and he would still trade in the game. But now that's not the case. He buys them digitally, so he loses the money regardless.
And when I started doing this as a job in 2011, yeah, I admit I was trading in a lot of games because the thing was back then there were some pretty good trade-in deals. So for example, back then
there were never good
trading deals. When you went to say game,
there were never good trading deals at all. Maybe EB Games or GameStop before they merged had good deals. I don't know which one was the greedy company. One of them was really greedy with shit. And then when they merged, the greediness started to overrun the stores. So the trading deals got worse and worse.
GameStop. If you walked into GameStop with 5 games that were games from the past month, you could get upwards of more than half of the value of those games back. So I would come in with 5 games, and I would walk out with like $200 of credit, if not more, in a lot of cases. It's not like that anymore. Now, every game has like a flat rate value at GameStop, and they're pretty bad trade-in values as well. It's very rare when you're going to get a high trade-in value for a game at GameStop.
You only get high trade-in values at GameStop when the game's like new. Like if it's the month or so of the release window of that game, it'll be the trading deals will be really good. But if you come in like, let's say you get Dead Rising, no, not Dead Rising 4. I'll use Okami as an example. Let's say Okami's value is $15. The trading value, you get 15 for it, which might be a little bit much, but let's say for the sake of this argument, that's what you get. That's how much it would be, and that's a pretty good deal. And then if you come back in January or February of next year with Okami, it might be less than that, or significantly less. Like, Final Fantasy 15, for a while it was like $15 for trade-in, which was okay, I guess, depending. And now it's like $8. And now with these stupid Elite nonsense that they have, now you get shafted even more, so... Oh my god, excuse me.
There's now a lot more competition. It used to be GameStop was the big company and there really wasn't anyone else. Now, a lot of companies are doing trade-in, like Best Buy, for example, does trade-ins, and usually, typically, their trade-in values are a little bit higher than GameStop's. So it is a different...
I haven't seen that with Best Buy. Best Buy, the one that's near me, I asked them for a game, and it was like, oh, you get 5 cents for this. And then I go to GameStop, oh, $5. And it's like, why is Best Buy so shit then?
Different situation now where you can get a lot more money back when you trade in your games. However, I don't do that anymore. And in fact, I haven't done that since I want to say like 2014, 2015 was probably the last time when I was buying the physical games.
He traded in ARMS and all these other games this year. He went to GameStop this year. This is a lie.
And then trading them in. Now what I do is I get everything digitally. And you might say, but Phil, that doesn't make sense. Why get it digitally when you can't, number one, you can't trade it back in. And number two, you don't get a cool collectible piece of swag. Number one, I don't need a collectible piece of swag. I don't have room for it. I'm not a collector anymore. I used to be a game collector. I'm not anymore. I don't. I have a limited space in my house. I don't want to have rooms and rooms full of fucking physical copies of video games like some YouTubers. They pose in front of them and act like it's some big fucking thing, like they have a giant dick because they have a room full of fucking old-ass games. I'm not saying it's not cool to do as a hobby.
Why is he shitting on people that want to collect game cases and all that and have it behind? Like, it's kind of nice to have that behind, in a video. It kind of, like, gives it a very, personal look because you get to see their personal collections. I generally like seeing that. I like seeing people's game collections and videos because it's kind of interesting to see if they have the same taste as me. Maybe there's some game I didn't know about. Whatever. I do have a game rack that I put in a closet though, so I don't really pose my own videos over it, but I make it up with nice art on the wall, so you have that to look at. But I just don't get why he's shitting on people who do that. It's not that bad. But okay, and the whole thing is, oh, I don't have the room for it. He does have the room for it. He has a whole fucking room that he could use. And game cases are honestly more easier to kind of manage than fucking figures. Just saying.
But I don't think that there's any kind of bragging rights because you have a big collection of games.
It's not about bragging though. Like these people who have that, it's not really about bragging. It's just to show what games they're collecting and what they like. It shows a lot about the person. That's really all it is. It's not bragging. It's not like, look at all the games I own. That's really fucking dumb. Why would anyone buy a game with the mentality of I wanna show you how much games I own? That's fucking stupid. But again, it's DSP. Everything's a competition to him.
Play digitally anyway. I don't even understand that. I'd rather use my house for things that I could use my house for, rather than have a whole room that's full of video games. I'm just saying.
But he has this is coming from the same guy that has a whole, like, part of his dining room full of DVD cases. Okay.
Number two, by getting the games...
Oh, and the other thing was, he has junk in his house. You can kind of say that the Christmas lights in the background are junk. Like, he doesn't need that. It serves no purpose. So that's a waste of space. The throw pills are a waste of space. You don't need them. The plants. You don't need them. Waste of space.
Digitally, I now have the rights to those games forever. So as long as Xbox Live, PlayStation Network exists... Okay.
No. You don't. I know this because it happened because I got fucked over 2 times with this. Well, 1.5 times, I guess. I'll get into that. So I got Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 back when it was new. I loved it. I also had Marvel vs. Capcom 3 at one point as well. But I had those games, and I got the Jill and the other person DLC because I think I either pre-ordered it or I bought them at the time or whatever. During that time, from then to now, my PS3 died on me, so I had to buy a new PS3. So I got a new one, and for a while I didn't play Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't craving the game. And then recently I started getting the urge to play the game on my PlayStation 3 again, so I popped it in, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't have the Jill and the other guy DLC, so I would go to the PlayStation Store to get them. They're not on the store anymore. They're gone. I cannot access the Jill Valentine DLC for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 anymore because Capcom took it down for whatever reason. Because around this time, companies were starting to remove stuff off of the store, for a while, like Skullgirls, for example. The vanilla Skullgirls you cannot get anymore on the PlayStation Store. You can get Encore because that's the newer version, but the vanilla one they had to remove. But that's probably because of the licensing stuff between Konami and Autumn Games. But there's that. You can't download the Jill Valentine DLC. Recently, they removed the PT demo from the PlayStation Store, so if I were to ever delete the PT teaser from my PS4, I'd be fucked. I would not have that game anymore. It would be gone forever. I still have it, even when I upgraded my hard drive space, because what I did was, I backed all my save file, obviously. I did all that, and then, when it came to doing the application backup, I deleted all the applications on my PS4, every single one. So the only application that console had was PT. That was the only application I had on the hard drive because I heard if you do a full backup with applications, it could take days. So I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll just delete all the applications except for PT because I have the games already. And that's not gonna be a problem. But PT is the only problem. There you go. So, yeah, just because you buy it digitally doesn't mean that you keep it forever and ever and ever. They could always remove the download easily. They removed the file for PT from the PlayStation Store. They can remove the files from the store. So he doesn't own these games forever. It's theoretically forever. Best case scenario, it's forever, but it's not.
Okay. I can play those games again. And by the way, I don't need to physically store the copies of those games. I'll give you a couple examples here, all right? Just recently, I played WWE 2K18. I played it when it was new in October, and I played through the career mode, and it was terrible. I played a couple sessions, got bored, deleted the game, because I wanted that space back on my PlayStation 4. Well, guess what? This coming weekend, I'm doing Holiday Sims. I've re-downloaded the game. I'm going to do the Holiday Sims, and then I'm going to delete the fucking game again. So you see what I mean? Like, let's say, in 2-3 years, right, I want to do a second run of a game that I played in the past year or two. I own all those games digitally. I have the right to just go right back and re-download it and play it again instantly. I don't have to go get a physical copy off a shelf. I don't have to go buy another copy of the game because I bought it once. I own it forever digitally as long as these digital services exist. So for me, it actually makes a lot more sense. In fact, I'll be honest here.
The only thing that's nice about digital is that it will always work. It will always work. If the disc is broken, you can't play the game. That happened to me a few times. Like, I had Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I had that disc. That disc somehow cracked on me. So I had to buy a new copy. And that sucked. I was really upset about that because I like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Just to play with my friends offline. I hate the online of that game. But, it is what it is.
I'm pretty upset that I didn't get Bloodborne digitally. Because Bloodborne is a game that I played when it was brand new. Everyone liked it, right? And I want to play it again coming in 2018. I want to do a second run through Bloodborne so that while I'm playing Bloodborne, I'll be able to not only beat the game again without grinding, which was a big major criticism that people had of my first run in Bloodborne. How dare you, grind in the game you shouldn't have. And number two, I didn't do the Old Hunters DLC. I started it, never finished it because I got pulled into playing a new game plus and all that. So I wanted the second run through Bloodborne where I could do the Old Hunters DLC. If I bought Bloodborne digitally, I'd just be able to download the game again right off the internet and play it. I didn't. I had a physical copy that I traded in, and now I have to go buy the fucking game again, which is lame. That's so lame that I have to do that. So that's why I've been doing this digital stuff recently. It just makes more sense for me, especially having a limited hard drive space and everything. You put on there what you're playing. When you're done with it, you get rid of it. It saves your save files in the cloud, so no skin off your back, right? And then when you need it later on, you could just resume, which is pretty cool. All right. So, pretty sweet, right? I like that. And it's funny because I see someone in the stream chat calls it up, but does Phil know you don't actually own digital games? You don't actually own any games. Even when you physically buy a disc, you don't own that game. You own the rights to use that software for gameplay. That's what you own. Phil. You don't physically own that game. You don't. When you trade that in, you're trading in the rights to play that game to someone else. So it's the same exact thing. Whether you own the physical disc or not, especially in this era of consoles, when you have a physical disc, it means nothing because all you do, you put the disc in your system and it installs exactly the same data that would have installed if you bought it digitally. It's exactly the same thing. The only difference is you get trade-in value if you have the physical disc. But for me, it benefits me more at this point to get them digitally. Plus, I don't have to make a separate trip. See, GameStop used to be close to me. My local GameStop when I lived in Connecticut was not even 10 minutes away. So I go in the morning, get the games, come right back. My GameStop now is like 20, 25 minutes away. So for me to drive all the way out to like the mall to get a game and come back isn't even worth it.
But I like driving to the mall. So I like driving. Driving is fun, man. But okay.
Okay. And by the way, Slow Joe says, by the way, try playing a physical copy without a patch so when the service goes down, all you can do is wipe your ass with the disc.
What?
Well, by the way, all you can do is wipe your ass. And by the way, Slow Joe says, by the way, try playing a physical copy without a patch so when the service goes down, all you can do is wipe your ass with the disc.
You can still play the game. If you don't, because if the servers go down, you can still play the game. That's really not a good point, but okay.
Well, by the way, Hank Duma just left me a $25 tip. Thank you, Hank Duma. He says, maybe Santa Claus will leave you a nice tip on Monday.
Ah! That is where I heard it from. I thought it was from the Holiday Marathon. It was that one.
Dollar tip. Thank you, Hank Duma. He says, maybe Santa Claus will leave you a nice tip on Monday.
Hank Duma tells him he's gonna get a nice tip on Monday. What happened Monday? He got a $1,000 tip. Now, I'm gonna have another Theo Theory. I know, everyone's favorite segment. You probably weren't sure you're gonna get a Theo Theory segment in this video, but here's a Theo Theory. I think DSP saw that tip, and when the guy said, "Oh, you're gonna get a hefty tip on Monday," he intentionally turned off notifications so that people wouldn't see the 1,000, and then he could kind of play it off like, did he really get it or didn't he? Something like that. But either way, Hank Duma gave him the $1,000 tip. I guarantee it's him. That's his proof. Oh, I'm gonna give you a nice tip on Monday. Nudge, nudge. I mean, you might as well have just said, I'm giving you a $1,000 tip or whatever.
Here's a small tip from the support you with your tax troubles. Wishing you, your loved ones, and all viewers, fans, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Hank. Hank, a longtime viewer, longtime fan, longtime patron, longtime supporter. Thank you, Hank, for that support and the holiday message. Really do appreciate it. Thank you to Atlas Telemon, who did a 50-bit cheer. And he said something in a language that I cannot understand. Ik ben niet de Nederlander here.
Wow, he's racist, dude.
I tried. I probably failed miserably. But thank you, nonetheless, for the cheer, Atlas Telemon. All right, on to Nick's next question. I told you, Nick went crazy this time. Okay? Which games besides Fighters have you played the most? What did they have?
Okay. The question is, which games have I replayed over the most besides Fighters? Honestly, recently it was MGS5. I played a lot of Phantom Pain. I love that. I like that game. I know it's not like the best Metal Gear game, but that was like one of my favorites. But other than that, Resident Evil 4 was one of them. The Mario games, Wind Waker, Metal Gear Solid 3. Um, what else? I think there was another one, but those are the ones that on the top of my head. Those are the ones I played a lot. So there you go.
That got you hooked. Games that I've played the most over the years. Definitely the classic Mario games like Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3, as well as Super Mario World, Zelda, Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 4 and 6, Chrono Trigger, Resident Evil 1 I've now played quite a bunch of times, I would say. In various iterations, the original and then the remakes and stuff. Obviously, you said outside of fighters, so let's write those off. No fighters included. I would say it would be last console gen. It would be games like Mass Effect 1. I replayed that game like 6 times. I loved it so much. I would still, to this day, right now, I would drop everything and go play Mass Effect 1 again. If I just love that game.
Then do
Even
it.
though I know over the years it doesn't feel as good because, we have modernization and the games progressed and everything. I still like that game. I would still go back and play it right now. I seriously would.
What? I hate when he says modern.
Those are probably the games I've played the most. Why? Because they just, for whatever reason, great plots. Absolutely. Every one of the games I mentioned have great plots. Except I say for the Mario games, but Mario games have such pure gameplay, right? They just all had some kind of a hook. Something that made it was addictive and made me want to go back and hunger to play them again. God, would I love to play Final Fantasy IV. I have it. I bought it on the Nintendo 3DS last year, and I was going to do it in 2017, and I never got around to it. I would love to do Final Fantasy IV. Secret of Mana is being remade for modern games, modern consoles. I'm going to play that, I think. That's going to be cool. A lot,
rip Final Fantasy IV.
It sucks. I haven't had a chance to go back. Now that I do this for a living, I really haven't gone back and played the games that I would have replayed.
Plays video games, has no
time to play
video
right?
games.
What was the last time I played Link to the Past?
Wow.
Summer of 2012. Typically, those were games that I would pick up every few years and play again, and I just haven't
I mean,
played
LA
them
Noir.
because
He
I'm
really
so
doesn't
busy
need to
with all
play
kinds
LA
of stuff.
Noir.
What I would tell you is this. If I were ever to do, say, a charity drive, let's say I were to do a special charity stream or something, I would probably go back and play one of those games, like Mario World, or Zelda Link to the Past, or Mass Effect 1. Those would be games, I've played them so much that I can just enjoy them at face value. And yes, I'll still fail and die, but I'll still have fun doing it. And it would be a lot of fun to motivate people to pledge to like a charity or something, right? So
Wait, what?
And that I can just enjoy, or Mass Effect 1. Those would be games, I've played them so much that I can just enjoy them at face value. And yes, I'll still fail and die, but I'll still have fun doing it. Or Zelda Link to the Past, and at face value. And yes, I'll still fail and die, but I'll still have fun doing it. And it would be a lot of fun to motivate people to pledge to like a charity or something, right? So those are probably the kind of games that I would play.
I love that he said that. I go play these games for charity. And he's doing a charity drive on Saturday. Guess what games he'll be playing? PUBG and Fortnite. Because he is literally a Twitch whore, as I said before. Because he won't play a game that he wants to play. Like, he could play Link to the Past and all that and get the same amount of money for this charity stream on Saturday. But he's doing PlayerUnknown's Battleground because it brings in the views. So he's thinking, well, I'm going to get a lot of views and they're all going to go to my Patreon. Okay. And it's just, and I guarantee it's going to be the same usual slaves pledging to his Patreon Saturday, and maybe a few newbies. Maybe a few, but you know what I mean.
For something like that. All right. Question number 4 from Nick. He says, what are your thoughts on games that have no end, such as Minecraft and The Sims? Do you think that is a clever way to add replay value?
My thoughts on that. It depends on the game, and if the game's fun. I don't really mind it. Like Minecraft, I don't really care. I don't really care about that game, so I can't say about that. But I don't know. I don't think I have a game. I don't think I own a game that has no ending. Unless you count like fighting games, because they technically have no ending. But
listen, there's different kind of games. Video games have never been or let me say that again. I screwed up. Video games were never clearly defined as a game that has a definitive end. In fact, if you look at most classic video games, they don't have an end. They're based on high score, right? The most classic video game, Donkey Kong, there's no end. You just keep playing till you get the high score, right? And that's what they used to be. Games used to be score-based. There was no narrative that ended at the end or whatever. And then over the years, games became more narrative-based, more story-based, and they started having definitive endings, per se.
But doesn't Donkey Kong have an ending, though? Like, there's an ending that, like, it doesn't go on forever. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with having a video game that has no end. Look at a game like Minecraft. There technically is an end. What it is, you have to go to the Ether or whatever. You fight the Ether Dragon. You beat that. And then there's two. Where's the other one? The Nether and the Ether. The two different areas or whatever they are. And you do that stuff. So there is a kind of end game content in Minecraft. But ultimately, Minecraft is a game that's made for you to do whatever you want. You be creative, and you make it whatever you want of it. If you want to be a master builder and do these gigantic creative things, you could do it. Or if you want to play it more of a survival game, where all you really care about is beating, the dragon or whatever at the end, you could play it like that. And you know what I mean? And that's good. The Sims never had an ending. The Sims is all about life, ongoing life, right? Simulating actual life. It doesn't have to have an ending because you can always infinitely create more people and more Sims to simulate in them. There's nothing wrong with that model at all whatsoever. As long as people know what they're getting into when they buy those games, and not that they get fooled into thinking that they're doing one thing and then they buy, oh man, this is just a never-ending game, and I get addicted to it and I keep sinking money into it. That's kind of the slippery slope, especially, I'll say this, with mobile games. Because most mobile games don't have a definitive ending. You just constantly grind and play to earn more in-game content, more cards or characters or whatever. So it's an infinite money sink with no actual end game where you'll ever stop investing money in it. And that's why mobile games make so much money. So as long as you know what you're getting into and you don't get addicted to these kind of games with no end, all right, then they're okay. Okay. And last but not least, the final question from Nick, then we can get on to other people's questions. I noticed a long time ago, back before when YouTube made changes to the channel pages, that your channel was actually classified as a comedy channel rather than a gameplay one. In addition, back in the day, you mentioned...
Okay, let's see what the question is. Thoughts on game... Oh, no, we read that already. Why has my channel focus shifted over the years? Anything for this. Sound good? Greed is massive.
That you identified that your content and is your commentary, while the games themselves were simply the subject matter. From 2012 to 2016, your gimmick seems to have shifted to being a gaming journalist with ideas for countdowns and reviews. Now in 2017, you refer to yourself as just a gamer and nothing else. What caused these shifts in how you view your content? Do you predict that this will change again in the future? All right. First question he asked there is, the old YouTube channel system, I was classified as a comedian. That's correct. But the reason I was classified as a comedian is because gaming was...
I like that he says that, but if you ask it, but he says consistently at the time, back then, I'm not a clown, I'm not a comedian. And now he said that he marked his channel as comedy.
Not a subject you could classify your YouTube channel as. Yeah, that's true. Back when I started on YouTube in 2008 through 2011, there wasn't even... Gaming didn't exist. You couldn't classify... You couldn't even classify your videos as gaming. That didn't exist. It was like vlogging, news, sports, comedy, entertainment. You know what I mean? So you had to kind of fit yourself in.
He could have just marked his videos as entertainment. That would be more close to what he does. In my opinion.
To a certain genre. Okay. And for me, comedy, I mean, people are watching my stuff to laugh and have fun and enjoy my gameplay. They're not watching for in-depth, detailed analysis of a game. You know what I mean? So for me, I was a comedian. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Then, once they finally added in gaming as a classification of video, as a tag, as a way to classify your channel, then I switched everything over to gaming. Okay? So no, it wasn't that I saw myself as a comedian, although I'll be honest, yes, the reason that a lot of people watch me is my improv commentary, how I react to gameplay and how I react to stuff that happens in video games. Technically, it is improv comedy and reactions. That's exactly what it is. That's people come to see me, but I wouldn't consider myself a comedian. Am I a funny guy? Yeah, people tell me that all the time, but no, by no means am I a stand-up comedian who's going to come out here and tell jokes or anything like that. No. And I don't do scripted comedy either. Everything I do is live and on the fly. Okay?
Oh, I agree with that. I don't think it's scripted either. I just think
By the way, thank you, Atlas Telemon, for another 50-bit cheer. He says that was a pretty good pronunciation of what I read earlier from his other cheer. Now, Nick says, from 2012 to 2016, it seems my gimmick was being a gaming journalist. I don't agree with that at all. What happened was, in 2012, basically, I got a bunch of feedback from my viewers, and my viewers were telling me, Phil, we love your Raw gameplay, but it's getting stale. You're doing the same.
He literally kept saying about covering games as coverage. Oh, I'm covering the games. I'm covering the new releases and this and that. And he kept comparing himself to gaming journalists. I mean, he wasn't, really a journalist because he didn't really do a lot of like stuff that they do. But he kept, bringing him up with other journalists. So that's kind of probably why Nick said that.
Same thing constantly over and over. Okay, you're really not updating yourself at all. In fact, keep in mind, into 2012, I was still using a camera. I hadn't even adopted direct capture yet, while most people doing gameplay were now direct capturing their footage. And basically, I was being called a dinosaur. I was, you're the dinosaur gamer of YouTube. Even though, yeah, you were popular 2-3 years ago doing it this way, you're not going to continue to be popular unless you evolve, okay? And what people told me is they not only wanted to see the raw gameplay, but they wanted to see better in-depth reviews. They wanted to see countdowns. They wanted to see better content in that regard. And let's face it, folks, if you look at YouTube, what happened? Most people who still do YouTube and are gamers full-time do not put out raw gameplay footage like I do. They sit there and they edit their videos to make montages and to make the best of and to make highlights of the funniest moments rather than just raw gameplay. The raw gameplay formula really has left YouTube in a lot of ways and gone over to Twitch. If you want to see raw gameplay, you come to Twitch and you watch a streamer play a game raw, right? Because you can't edit the game on the fly. You got to watch the raw gameplay. Now, yeah, there's other things that come into play with Twitch as well, like interactivity or whatever. But yeah, it kind of lost popularity on YouTube. And look at me. I mean, look at my popularity. It went down because I just kept doing what I was doing while everyone else was changing up their formulas. And I didn't, honestly, I lost popularity. Yeah, there's other things that come into play with Twitch as well. Like, you got to watch the raw, play a game raw to Twitch. If you really just raw gameplay, the best of, and to make highlights of the funniest, edit their gamers to see countdowns. They wanted to see better content in that regard. And let's face it, folks, if you look at YouTube, what happened? Most people who still do YouTube and are gamers,
he is like really trying to keep that ball in front of him. But like, look,
full time do not put out raw gameplay footage like I do. They sit there and they edit their videos to make montages and to make the best of and to make highlights of the funniest moments rather than just raw gameplay.
Okay, okay, we're gonna go on a mini field trip. I'm gonna show you a YouTube series that I actually kind of like. I kind of like it at the computer. We're not gonna watch all of it, by the way, but we're gonna watch a little bit of it. This is from Frank Howley.
Your attention, please.
That was a cutscene. Now you can actually play. So anytime I would like play any PS1 games, I would just go around, press X, and inspect everything.
Showing this, they're talking about the game. They go through the beginning of it and all of this stuff. They talk about how good the game is. I mean, sure, you could say that this kind of commentary is not what Phil wants to do, which is fine. But no one is leaving. Like, you could do edited videos and not do the, like, cliched fucking montage that he thinks that they are. He thinks that people, when they edit their videos, it's like a dumb little, not dumb, like, just a montage of, like, hey, this is what I did here, wow, and then this and that. It's not even that. But okay.
Raw gameplay formula really has left YouTube in a lot of ways and gone over to Twitch.
Of course it's on Twitch. Twitch is a streaming website. Like, you can't have an edited stream. You can edit on stream, but you can't have, like, an edited stream. At that point, it's a video. So, there you go.
If you want to see raw gameplay, you come to Twitch and you watch a streamer play a game raw, right? Because you can't edit the game on the fly. You got to watch the raw gameplay. Now, yeah, there's other things that come into play with Twitch as well, like interactivity or whatever. But yeah, it kind of lost popularity on YouTube. And look at me. I mean, look at my popularity. It went down because I just kept doing what I was doing while everyone else was changing up their formulas. And I didn't want to change my formula. I did not want to do edited gameplay. I liked doing it raw style because
he didn't want to change his style. But he changed his fucking style. He made a third channel full of edited videos and started doing all these montages. Like, he did change his style. Then he changed his style even more when he went to Twitch. He became a Twitch whore. He became literally, not even figuratively anymore. It's literally, he became everything he hated. He's a shill on Twitch. He does face cam. He does shoutouts. He is playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which he shat on this year when people play that game. He has become everything he hated. He's doing a charity stream. He's doing all these things he shat on. But he didn't change his style. He didn't want to change his style, guys.
Boy, that did not sound right. If someone's going to take that clip out of context. I like doing it. Anyway. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I did it raw, unedited, and other people started doing edited, and they blew up, and I didn't. Okay, whatever. So, I did start to branch out because I saw, geez, you know, everyone else is doing something differently. I don't want to do it like that. Let me try other stuff. So I did better reviews, right, and stuff like that. KO Gaming last year was a huge experiment that...
Better reviews. I did a whole video on his reviews. I don't really need to go into how bad his reviews are.
Actually succeeded and would have continued to grow if YouTube didn't completely shut down the channel this year, because they did. YouTube basically now has prevented me from doing edited content on YouTube because everything gets demonetized. KO Gaming has been red flagged as a demonetized channel.
He should just still make videos for KO Gaming. Well, he should just keep doing it, keep plugging at it. I mean, like, he could do what he's doing now, where he's just featuring it on Twitch, and then he puts it on KO Gaming, because the more videos he adds on KO Gaming, probably the better it's going to be. It's probably going to be a better situation for him, but he's not going to do that, so...
And any video I upload to KO Gaming immediately gets demonetized, so
there's
no
reason say it's a waste of time, sure,
on YouTube ever again.
I don't know.
So YouTube literally made the decision for me. And said, Phil, fuck it, don't do edited content anymore. Just keep doing your raw stuff like you've always done. And it's worked out for me because
so then he should thank YouTube then.
Gaming, very few videos ever get demonetized. While some people who only upload one video a day and it's all edited, almost all their videos get demonetized. So you have channels out there that used to get hundreds of thousands of views and were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that are now making $5,000 to $10,000 a year.
But they have a
Patreon, YouTube demonetizes all their shit. Versus DSP Gaming, I've barely been affected by demonetization, which is great. But why? Because I do raw gameplay. For whatever reason, it doesn't really get demonetized that much. So somehow my formula has magically worked, okay? Now, in addition, because YouTube ad revenue plummeted this year and I adopted more of a streaming atmosphere, I was already on board for that. I've been doing raw, unedited gameplay for how long? So I was geared up to do a full-time streamer gig already. All I needed to do was adopt things like giving shout-outs and stuff for cheer subs and tips. So really, everything I've done over the years, even though I didn't intend it to work out this way, literally aligned itself to work out the way that it has.
The planets aligned.
And there's been many evolutions. The raw commentary that was more comedy-based. Oh, now I'm going to try to shift it to be more edited content-based. Well, now back to raw. I got to go with the flow. Whatever's popular, whatever works, right? If I want to keep doing this for as a living and what I'm doing, I have to adjust and adapt, right? Greed
is massive.
And that's what I mean. So now Nick says, well, how do I predict it'll change again in the future? I don't know. Are you guys aware? You may not have heard this. I'm surprised if no one asked this. Supposedly there's a leak or rumors. Amazon is going to compete with YouTube directly. Amazon has filed a patent for a website where they want to do on-demand videos exclusively. It sounds like Amazon, after literally defeating YouTube in the live streaming venture, because they have. Twitch is far better. And
how did Amazon defeat YouTube in streaming? They bought another company. They didn't do anything. Amazon literally just went over to Twitch, saw how Twitch was going, and says, hey, we want you part of us. Here's some money. Now you're part of us. That's not really... Amazon didn't do shit. Amazon literally did not do anything when it comes to streaming. It was literally all Twitch, and Amazon bought them. And the other thing is that he keeps alluding to, like, well, Amazon's gonna be a competitor to fucking YouTube, dude. But they could also have the same monetization issues. Because, again, do you think that Amazon's gonna have a perfect system where they could definitely tell a hate speech video from a non-hate speech video? Do you think they're gonna have a perfect system that's gonna be able to filter that out? Or do you think they're gonna pay as much as YouTube did in the glory days of YouTube Probably not, because Amazon probably wants to keep their money. Because again, the whole relationship between the content creator and the service, like Amazon and YouTube, is not like a customer-client relationship. These content creators are not customers to YouTube. We're not. We create stuff for YouTube, and YouTube can do whatever they want with it, because that's what you agree with. But whatever. I mean, that's...
And way more well-regarded and well-respected than YouTube is for live streaming.
Amazon's well-respected.
Now Amazon might be taking on YouTube, right?
I don't know.
Now imagine that.
Amazon's been kind of stirring up as much criticism as Google has back when Google started, because people are saying that Amazon's getting too powerful. They're really, getting invasive, because now they're finding ways to open your door to drop a package in. They're doing all this other stuff, drones and all that stuff. I mean, it's getting kind of insane over at Amazon, and you don't know where they're gonna go. It could go severely, in the same way Google has, and DSP is just throwing blind trust at them because he hasn't been dicked over by them yet. The moment Amazon shoves their dick up Phil's ass, he's going to feel the pain.
Imagine now if you now finally have a company. Amazon is filthy fucking rich, folks. Finally, we may have a company that can compete with YouTube. Finally, they'll have the capacity for server space. They'll be able to do the same shit YouTube does. But Amazon's a better company. I'm sorry, they are. Amazon overall.
But the thing is that people that I'm a little concerned with Amazon is that if they do this, let's say, what's to say they're not going to hide things behind Amazon Prime? Sure, almost everyone has the Amazon Prime, but they're putting stuff behind a paywall at that point. Who knows if they're going to do anything with that? But again, monetization they could not do monetization at all, because they might say, "Fuck it, we're not going to do it," and we'll just have advertisers get paid for free, and the advertisers will get the money from us, and the content creator will get nothing from it. They could easily just do that. So it's really hard to say that Amazon is going to work out perfectly like he thinks it is.
Look at the things they've done on Twitch. How much they're in line with gamers, in line with popular culture.
Again,
if they don't have things like
Twitch,
flagging demonetizations and content IDs and copyright,
and there has been literally rumors and rumblings during with Twitch saying that they might lower the revenue of the tiers. They might change it completely. Like, they might lower the amount of what tiers are worth or whatever. I've been hearing rumblings of this. And I've also been hearing rumblings of them making more stricter rules in regards to what can and can't be said on stream. Now, the other thing is that Twitch does not give a fuck what their partners do. They don't. They would probably care more what an affiliate does, because affiliate is, an affiliate. They could just kind of fuck them over easily. But partners, they're not gonna fuck him over. If they get money from the partner, they won't give a fuck. And he makes enough money that Twitch probably is looking the other way on a lot of things.
Like abuse and shit like that, dudes, YouTube's done. In which case, it's the Wild West again. Everyone's gonna be lifting their content off of YouTube and say, "Fuck this piece of shit," and they're gonna be running to this new Amazon site.
It's gonna be the Wild West again, because that's obviously the best time to be around, right? The Wild West. Okay.
It's going to be. Okay.
Okay.
And then, what's going to happen? It could be the Wild West again. Maybe raw gameplay will become popular again. Who knows? You never know. You can't predict this stuff, folks.
It could also be worse than YouTube. It could also be that. Like I said, it could be anything. You don't know. But it could be worse. They might not even allow you to upload certain lengths of video. But, okay.
This industry has been so crazy. The gaming industry and coverage of gaming and gaming culture has been so crazy in the last 10 years. There's no way to predict what's going to happen. I mean, I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm going to Amazon. If they make a website and it can be as profitable as YouTube is, fuck YouTube. I'm done with it.
If it's going to be as profitable as YouTube. Like, current YouTube, like right now, how much, oh my god, I can't talk. How much he said it's not profitable anymore? As profitable as that, or more profitable. And I really doubt it's gonna work out for him. But it might be worth it though. But
damn, I'm so done with this company that does not give a fuck about me. I'm going over to a company that, since, I've been doing this full-time
streaming. Oh my god. Twitch, he's like, I'm done with YouTube because they don't give a fuck about me. But they literally, DZ's favorite word, lifted a copyright strike in a day. And he even said in the Christmas vlog that YouTube did what he said or whatever, but they obviously don't care about him, and he thinks Amazon will. Okay, yeah. And the other thing is that a lot of people don't like about Amazon is that a lot of people complain that trying to sell items through Amazon is not worth it. Like the percentage that Amazon takes out of the sale is so high that for a lot of people it's not worth selling. We take a big portion. So a lot of people are not happy with that either. So
welcomed with open arms and treated with nothing but the utmost respect from Twitch and Amazon. Why on earth would I care about YouTube anymore? Seriously.
Again, he loves Twitch and Amazon because they haven't fucked him over yet. The moment that Twitch starts instituting lower revenue, and if the whole thing about them like making stricter rules on what you can and can't say, he's definitely gonna get angry about that. But he's lucky he's a partner because Twitch don't give a fuck about them when it comes to breaking terms.
There you go. Alrighty, folks.
Banning trolls.
Alright, apparently I got a troll cheer. I thought it was serious. It's not. It looks like a troll cheer. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore that.
Troll cheer, dude.
Stupid.
Get that ass banned.
Alright, let's do more Patreon questions. Let's see how many. Maybe we could do all the Patreon questions in one part here.
He usually does all the Patreon questions in one part. Spoiler alert. But let's continue. Will I cover Street Fighter V when Arcade Edition is released? Definitive answer, yes. I will definitely cover Street Fighter V Arcade Edition because boy got my main character from 4, Cody. Cody is the best character in Street Fighter. And I also got Sakura. Sakura's dope too. I like Sakura. Don't really care about Blanca. Don't care about Sagat. But I'm definitely going to cover Arcade Edition. I want to see what the arcade mode is like. I saw a stream of it. It looked very interesting because it's done in each version of Street Fighter. Like they have a Street Fighter 3 version, an Alpha version, and a 4 version. And I want to see what these are, and I want to see if they all have individual stories with each version. So that'll be interesting. And I heard it also has multiple endings, which thumbs up on that. I like that. I like what I'm hearing about arcade mode in Arcade Edition. So I am definitely gonna cover that. So I'll be streaming it, baby. I got the game already. Well, I got Street Fighter 5, so there's that. I'll be covering it. So a lot of Ken rage.
Will you cover Street Fighter V Arcade Edition when it hits just for one session? It was great to see you play Street Fighter 2 earlier this year, and that's from Timic83. Ladies and gentlemen, let's try this again. All right, let's try this again.
Gotta be a clown.
No, 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 no. Well, no. No, under no circumstance, under no condition, absolutely not, positively not, nada, nilch, nihil, mal, no mas, no, I am not playing Street Fighter V again. All right, one more time, just so everyone understands.
Mickey, I'm not a clown, everyone, dude.
Hold on. Hold on. No.
He even did that wrong. He did the sound effect before the revelation. It's after. If you're gonna be a clown, at least be a clown, dude. You can't even be a clown, man. You can't even be a clown. That's sad. Imagine being a clown and you can't even do it.
I am not playing Street Fighter V ever again. Under no circumstances. I did not enjoy the game when it was new. I did not enjoy the game after they patched it and put in DLC characters. I didn't play it all for 2017. I'm not playing Street Fighter V again. Now, you may say, but that's a bad attitude to have. Why? Here's the bottom line, folks. This is what a lot of people don't understand about fighting games. So this is actually, I'm glad Timmick asked this question. Allow me to really explain my real reasoning behind why I'm not going to play Street Fighter V again. All right. Here's really why. Even if there was a real reason. Oh my God, Phil, did you hear they completely changed Street Fighter V? Now it plays like Super Turbo. Folks, when you play a competitive fighting game, all right, if you really want to hang in that game, meaning you want to be at a competitive level and be able to beat people, and even understand the meta, meaning...
But I thought he plays games for fun. Why can't he play Arcade Edition for fun? He owns the game, and Arcade Edition is free. He literally has no reason not to do it. Unless he wants to play as Ed and Abigail, and the Season 2 characters he'd have to buy. Okay.
The big high-level competitive gameplay of that game. You need to be playing it from day one. Now, I played Street Fighter V from day one, and I played it from February 2016 until, the summer of 2016?
But you didn't play
it consistently. When Urian was released, was the last character who I played with or whatever, and then I stopped playing the game. And I just really didn't give a shit about it after that. I didn't play any of the DLCs of the other characters that were added. I didn't see any... I've literally have not seen a match of Street Fighter V, except Arturo, because Arturo Sanchez Sabin, I host him here on this channel sometimes.
So he doesn't have time to watch all the streams.
So I've seen him play a little bit with Dhalsim, and that's it. That's all I've seen.
Dhalsim.
Okay.
So, I don't like that character, so...
For me, to get back into Street Fighter V, no lie, I would have to invest so much time and effort to learn the game engine again.
Oh, first of all, the game come on. It's not that fucking hard. And I like how he says that the game is simplified. I'm not sure if he said in this asking, but he did say, well, they dumbed down all fighting games, dude. Street Fighter 4 was dumbed down, but it was competitive. Street Fighter 5 is dumbed down, a child could play it. But it's too hard for him. I mean, I'm not fucking good at Street Fighter 5, but I can at least play at a competent level at least. At least. I'm not saying I'm amazing here, but I can at least play it and win some matches. I'll give you some perspective, okay? I can make it to Ultra Bronze if I really, really try, I guess. If I play as Laura and Abigail, I could probably make it to Ultra Bronze. With Karen, I can kind of make it up there. So, there you go.
Input delay now than it did when I first played it. The characters have changed. The combos have changed. Everything has changed. It would be like starting a new fighting game over again from the start. But the problem is, there will be people who have 2 years of experience more than me.
I guarantee you, though, I will say this, though, if you Blue Moon, whatever, he's desperate for money, plays Street Fighter 5, the one character he's gonna hate a lot to fight against is, what's his name? Abigail. He's gonna hate that character. Because that character, if you don't understand certain things about that character, he's gonna body you. He has a lot of ridiculous moves, like a low jab is an anti-air and just a normal attack. So he just does this, and you can be Abigail and literally just stand on one side of the map and just do this the whole time and do significant damage to the other player because they can't jump in because this is an anti-air. This is a fucking anti-air for him. He also has armored attacks that he gets. The only time you can kind of defend against that is to grab. If you time the grab just right, assuming that guy doesn't... If the Abigail player doesn't time his move right, you can grab him out of it. You can jump over it if you time that right, too. There's a lot of things you can do, but you have to kind of have very, very specific timing with Abigail. He is a bitch to fucking fight against. The only time I enjoy fighting Abigail is when I'm Abigail. When it's a mirror match. That's the only time that having an Abigail fight is kind of fun, but when you're not Abigail and you're fighting Abigail, it can really sour the game. But I don't know. I never had an issue though because when I'm Laura, I could kind of get Abigail down, but it's a pain. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Really impossible to do. It's almost impossible when you're years behind to jump into a fighting game midlife and be at a high level from those who are already...
Bullshit. Look. I got into Guilty Gear 2nd Revelator earlier this year, around the time after it came out, because I got it on sale. So there was that, and I also got Blaze Blue Central Fiction. Both those games have a very dedicated community. Very dedicated. and I can still kind of hold my own because I understand at least some of the basic combos of the characters I play as. And some people might say that Night of the Phantom is kind of OP, but I think Night of the Phantom's fine. But I also play as Bullet and I play as other characters. But you can kind of get into any fighting game. It's really not that bad. The only time that you can have a bad time is if you're really expecting to win every match like DSP has. He thinks he's such a pro that he can never lose or whatever, which is fucking retarded. I mean, I play Street Fighter 5, and I think I'm good at the game, and I might, in rage, I might say, this is bullshit, I should have won or whatever, but, you know, at the same time, I'm not that good to be like, I can go in an EVO tournament with my Karen. Like, no. I'm not tournament ready. Maybe Skullgirls. Maybe. But again, there are a lot of insane people I've seen in that game when I play.
I've already been playing the game all along. It really is almost impossible. The only way that I'd be able to do it is if I invested a ridiculous amount of time and effort into it, which I'm not willing to do. You guys know I'm a variety streamer. I'm a variety gamer. When I make videos and play on stream, I play a variety of stuff. You guys don't want to sit here and watch me play Street Fighter 5 exclusively for 2 months so that I can get back.
He says he's a variety streamer, but what is he playing now? I mean, the only variety he has now is LA Noire. Everything else is PlayerUnknown Battleground. He's playing that every day. Like, let's take a look at his schedule. Let's see. I think he has to be blocked. Yeah, he has to be blocked because I told him I enjoy Street Fighter 5. Does Dragon Killer have the screen gap? I don't think he does. God damn it. Gotta go in incognito mode. And since it's going to be a pain to get that on OBS, I'm just going to read what the schedule says. So Thursday, LA Noire Remastered. He's not doing a second stream because he has errands to run. But he played PlayerUnknown Monday. He played PlayerUnknown on Tuesday. He played it on Wednesday. He's going to play it on Friday night. And then he's going to play it Saturday. And then he's going to probably play it Sunday. And then Monday again. And so on. And so on. And so on. He is going to consistently always play PlayerUnknown Battleground every fucking day. I wonder if, because he announced the donation. Okay. No, I didn't say it. Never mind. Never mind. But, yeah, he's playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds every day. Every day. But he's a variety streamer. He has a lot of variety, guys.
Back into the, you know what I mean, into the swing of things. It doesn't make any sense. No one wants to see that.
But they want
so no, I'm not playing Street Fighter 5. If I did, it would literally be a waste of my time because I would have to relearn the entire game from the ground up, and I don't want to do that. I would much rather focus on the new game. What new fighting games are coming out next year? Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fighting Layer EX, Soul Calibur 6. That's just 3, and I'm sure there's going to be more. Focus on the new stuff. I don't care about the 2-year-old game that was a massive failure.
Of course he wants to focus on the new stuff because he'll have a better chance fighting against scrubs and people who are just picking up a fighting game for the first time. And that's what it's going to be for Dragon Ball FighterZ for a while. He's going to be fighting against a lot of noobs probably. And then maybe in the next month or so, when people beat the story of that game or arcade mode or whatever, he's going to be fighting against tournament level players, and he might get fucked. Maybe, but he's going to drop that. By the time that happens, he'll drop the game. And then, Fighting EX Layer is a garbage game. No one is going to... I hated that game. I did not like it at all. I wanted to like it. I like the character designs. Well, some of them. But I hated the gameplay. It was so fucking bad.
And Capcom fucked it up, and now Capcom has to find a way to, you know, make stuff popular again. It's funny because MVC Infinite was popular for about 3 months, and it's dying already. People are already saying in droves. Even the hardcore fighting game community are saying the game's not nearly as good as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was. Really just seems like a cash-in. And by the way, there's rumors Capcom won't even be supporting it after this first slew of DLC characters is done. They may not even be like updating it anymore. So, you know what I mean? So look at the games that Capcom's putting out. Why would I go back to them?
And And you could kind of argue that I don't even think Capcom was expecting Infinite to be that big of a game, because when they announced it last year or so, they kind of had this wishy-washy attitude about it. It was like, yeah, it's there, we're making it. It's not 4, guys. It's not Marvel vs. Capcom 4. It's not. They made it abundantly clear that this isn't the 4th Marvel game. So, I kind of suspected that they were going to hit and run with that game.
Put time or effort into them. You know what I mean? I really think Capcom has lost their way when it comes to fighters, and they really need to find a way to come back. Everyone else is doing it better than them. Honestly, they are. Everyone else is doing it better than Capcom right now.
Okay.
Okay. So hold on.
Yeah, NetherRealm's doing better than Capcom.
Nick did another $1 tip, and he said Twitch and Amazon are smart enough that when they detect music in a video, they only mute the portion that the music is in. Dude, I'm telling you. Twitch, Amazon, they're doing it right.
Sucking their dick.
A lot of people were very skeptical when Amazon bought.
What is this? What is this, Chair? Hey, Phil, I noticed that you still consider YouTube content ID match. Consider content ID matching your playthroughs whenever you decide to play games with music. Why not just play those games with music like GTA San Andreas just on Twitch and upload those type of playthroughs to YouTube? Think you'll have better viewership and participation if you did this. You say you're a Twitch streamer, but YouTube is heavily influencing the games you play. Exactly. That Twitch is on point, because the thing is that DSP could be off YouTube completely. Let's say that Amazon comes out with their best video service ever. He'll move to Amazon, let's say. He's all there, he's all on Amazon. He will still bitch and whine about YouTube. He will still bitch and whine about it. Regardless, every time he says, I don't care about YouTube, I really just sit there, I'm like, yeah, sure you do, buddy. Sure you don't care.
Twitch?
Again, that's like me saying, I don't care about DSP. I don't care about DSP, guys. I don't care, okay?
They've been doing it right, folks. Like I said, the year that I've now been back on Twitch streaming, I could not be happier. I've gotten support from Twitch, opportunities from Twitch. They've directly helped me with things. Like, it's the complete polar opposite of the bigwig corporate mentality that fucking YouTube has. And that's why, if they really do make a video show...
Twitch is only helping him out because he's a partner. I'm kind of a Twitch affiliate at this point, and they are not helping shit with me. They're not giving me fucking rides to TwitchCon, dude. I'm not testing out live packing, man. But Twitch is better because it benefits him. The moment Twitch were to ever like fuck him over, he'd be singing a different tune.
Sharing website, dudes, say goodbye to YouTube. I'm serious. You know what YouTube's gonna become? All drama videos and all vloggers, and that's it. Yeah. You'll have no other content on YouTube. Dude. Everyone's gonna go to the Amazon site. Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheer. He says, what if they introduce DJ? No, I'm not playing Street Fighter 5. No. Okay. Atlas Telemon also did a 50-bit cheer. Says, Sabin is the best Dalzine. I believe that. I've seen him. He's pretty damn good. Okay. Kekken did a 25-bit cheer. He says they made a second set of trials for the new combos in Street Fighter 5. Well, I don't care. And then he did another 10-bit cheer, and he said a set of trials for... I believe that. I've seen him. He's pretty damn good. Kekken did a 25-bit cheer. He says they made a second set of trials for the new combos in Street Fighter 5. Well, I don't care.
He says it's going to take him a long time to learn the game, but trials are literally in the game to help people learn the game. Okay.
And then he did another 10-bit cheer, and he said, Tekken 7, I can give you a crash course. Nah, Tekken 7's fun, and Tekken's a good game. Don't get me wrong, Tekken's a competitive game, fun. For me, honestly, typically, I don't like games. You get one random hit. Oh, I got a counter hit. Oh, juggle, 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 juggle. Lands on the ground. OTG. Juggle, 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 juggle. Oh, now it's a 50-50 as you wake up. Hit you. Juggle, 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 juggle. Oh, you lost 80% health. Oh, now the fight really begins. I don't like...
Those are all fighting fundamentals. Some games, sure, don't allow you to, like, kind of constantly wail combos on opponents, but, like, Skullgirls, for example, the hot game everyone loves. You can honestly chain combos back to back to back to back because you can kind of just do infinite juggles almost. But they have a burst meter, so you can kind of push them off you. So it's balanced in that way. But, like, if you're good at a fighting game, that shouldn't be an issue, because you should be able to know what can keep, because it's all about fucking fundamentals, as he loves talking about, because it's all about, like, spacing and knowing if they're gonna jump in, what move can knock him out of the air. Like, Eliza has a very good... Oh, holy shit. Oops. Thank God this is empty. I mean, that would have been bad. Bad, dude. Oh my God. This is mine.
Well,
but what was it saying? She has a good overhead that she kind of lifts her foot up. It's like it's her heavy kick, and it's like it becomes a serpent. It goes around her head, and it kind of forms a circle around her. So if someone's in the air, it knocks him down, and it does a second hit to follow up. So it's a great anti-air. Amazing anti-air. I love doing it. When I see fucking people trying to jump in on me, I just do that, and they get their ass slammed. So, Tekken, I haven't played it. Tekken 7, I haven't played that one, so I don't know if there's any moves like that. But I'm sure it's the same, where we kind of have to know when they're coming and block at the right angle, because you can kind of see what fight they're gonna do. If they're gonna do a low hit, low block, etc. He never low blocked, so he got slammed pretty bad with that. So
honestly, don't like games like that. And Classic Tekken didn't used to be like that. Classic Tekken played a lot more like Classic Street Fighter, but then I'd say it was around Tekken 4 and 5 that the game became Juggle Fest.
God damn it.